Here we go, man. We got 60 minutes of football. If we're going to be world champions, we got to start somewhere. This right here.
This ain't going to be no place for women and children now, I'll tell you.
You belong here. You're the best. Let's do it.
Go! Let's go! Attack! 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 Set alert! 11! 11! It's okay!
Watch the line draw!
Hey, 98! Hot! Get him, baby! Get him! Get him! You guys got to win it right here. That's naughty. He wouldn't do that. Get him, baby, get him, get him.
Down the right side, and it is fought for, and it's touchdown! Touchdown!
Under the gun, side, he throws, hit it! Oh, he caught it! He caught it!
For over a quarter of a century, NFL Films has been honored to serve as the curator for the largest and most exciting collection of achievement in sports, the legend and legacy of the National Football League. Hello, I'm Steve Sable. You know, from a spectator's standpoint, pro football is probably America's most challenging game to watch. On each snap of the ball, 22 men move in 22 different directions over an area of more than 2,500 square yards. It's certainly a game of complex strategy and tactics. But it's also about youth and dreams, fame and success and failure, inspiration and devotion. And finally, it's nostalgia. It's magic moments that live in memory, not because you particularly want to remember or try to remember, but because you simply can't forget. So let's take a look at this gallery of magic moments, frozen in time. In our collection, there's a rogues gallery reserved for football's most menacing men, the bone-jarring runners, the wedge busters of the special teams, the sack masters of the scrimmage line. All of them fierce competitors, gut fighters, and above all, reminders that football is and always will be a game for hard men who take pride in their own power.
The name of the game, man, is hit.
It's still a physical game. Let's face that fact, and it always will be. That's what makes people want to play this game, because it is a physical game. It's not touch tag. Let's call it what it is. It's violent, and it's physical.
The physical part of football is still the most important part. When you have two teams that know what they're doing and two teams that have great athletes on both sides, then usually the game is decided by the team that hits the hardest.
Take it.
The rules for playing the game of football allow for a tremendous amount of collision. And this is a collision sport. It's not a contact sport.
If you lose the battle of the hitting, I'm not sure you're going to win the other battle either.
When a guy gets hit and his headgear pops off, that's part of the game. And that's what people pay money to go see, the great hits.
What a great hit.
Pro football's legacy of toughness stretches back decades. But it was the wild men of the fabulous 50s that set the tone for today's Crunchmasters.
There wasn't that much dirty play. It was rough. Yeah, they were rough. If they could kill you, they'd kill you honestly. Okay? But nothing dirty. Nothing wrong with drawing a little blood here and there, you know what the heck.
For many, the need to hit is as natural as the need to breathe. But if hitting cannot be coached, what motivates the game's foot soldiers and birds of prey to unleash the special fury that makes them unique?
They are guys that want to leave an impression. They would like to leave a Riddell across someone's chest.
I like to be thought of as being that way, relentless. I like that word.
The effect that I would like for it to have is for a player to be able to get up and go back to the huddle and say, I don't want to go back that way. I don't ever want to do that again.
You must serve justice. And if you don't know how to serve justice, then you're going to get kicked around the league.
And on the field that I don't really like or trust anybody or anything. And I don't particularly think there's a person on this earth that can kick my.
The intensity of this feeling can be gauged by the crashed landings that resound in a 100-yard arena. In the NFL, the most explosive force that can be used is a man's body.
But I like to go back to the men of the 101st and the 82nd Airborne. They said, describe courage. And they said, they're the guys that are afraid, but they go anyway.
If the special teams are the fast-paced first wave in a football attack, then the hardened men of the scrimmage line struggle, inch by precious inch. Football's legendary linemen often walk with a swaggering bravado usually reserved for the backfield.
Sacking the cornerback is just like you devastate a city or you cream a multitude of people. I mean, it's just like you put all the offensive players in one bag and I just take a baseball bat and beat on the bag.
When all else fails and it's obvious it's going to come down to a direct physical confrontation, I always thought it reflected a higher degree of intelligence to do the inflicting first.
Crank up that diesel. Let's go, diesel.
Muscle can also be employed on the other side of the scrimmage line, where an unlucky defense gets in the way of the NFL's toughest runners.
your mark.
Often, a football team's only as hard-bitten as its quarterback. One of the toughest was San Diego's Dan Fouts.
You better have a cocky, arrogant quarterback playing for you or you're in trouble because those offensive linemen and those other guys in that huddle, if they see a milquetoast playing quarterback for them, they're not going to feel that confident themselves.
You run out of the break.
I'm running out the break.
Tippy towing like a... I will. And you're out of here. You're out of here.
For many, however, it's the linebackers that put the most power in the game.
That'll cool your ass off.
They are football's hardest hitters, modeled after the Steelers' Jack Lambert and Ray Nitschke of the Packers.
It wasn't a Jekyll Hyde presence, it was just Hyde. It was just total absence of any concern or compassion for another human being.
But the most legendary linebacker was certainly Chicago's Dick Butkus.
He told me he was going to kick my, you know what, the first time I ever played against him, my rookie year.
He went after you like he hated you from his old neighborhood. He was the meanest son of a I've ever seen in my life play professional football.
Butkus is synonymous with hitting, contact, aggressiveness. He's the best who ever played the position.
You know, I'm really not the tough, macho guy. That was only during the game.
I'm in war on silent crisis. I don't know who I am. Because Butkus had blindsided and just KO'd him.
Dick Butkus, the greatest football player I ever saw. I'm convinced he's the greatest football player that ever lived.
Dick Butkus, king of the crunch.
The challenge of presenting the history of pro football requires a lot of wall space, simply because it's redrawn every Sunday. But in the historical perspective of passing years, certain truths emerge. Each succeeding decade is framed by the players and teams that reflect those times. And if art imitates life, then these gallant men stood as a mirror in front of America.
The beginning of the Roaring '20s saw the birth of the National Football League. Born on the playing fields of rural America, it flirted with national attention when George Halas and his Chicago Bears signed up Red Grange, the galloping ghost, the country's most popular collegiate football hero. But it was the emergence of television in the 1950s that finally cemented the bond between pro football and the American public. It was a decade known for its carefree spirit, and the stars of the sport fit that mood.
We had a lot of fun playing football. We didn't make much money, so consequently, we had to subsidize it by having fun.
These men had come back from the service. They'd been in a war. This was a picnic after what they'd been through. And it was a real competitive, tough proposition. But once you made it, it was a lot of fun.
Tough is one way to describe the discipline demanded by the Browns head coach, Paul Brown.
He believed in what they call the Tuesday rule. After Tuesday, don't touch your wife, you know, keep away from sex.
That no-nonsense approach, coupled with innovative tactics, led Brown's team to 3 world championships in the 50s. But over on the Chesapeake Bay stood another powerhouse of the decade, the Baltimore Colts.
Up over the ball, come the Baltimore Colts. Unitas calling out the signals. Unitas gives to Amici. The Colts are the world champions. The most dramatic finish in professional football.
Led by Johnny Unitas, their success on the field created a mirror image of Cleveland's hard-nosed approach. Yet the Colts' rowdy cast of characters were probably the truest reflection of those fun-loving times.
So I said, well, I think Joyce can eat more chicken than anybody else on the team. The guy said, no, he can't. For $100, Marquette can. So they said, all right. So we had 2 more guys bet. So we had $300 bet, and we had this chicken eating contest up in Western Maryland College. We get in there, and here comes the waiters out with a typical Southern Maryland Sunday afternoon meal. Chicken, mashed potatoes, and peas, and all the trimmings. So anyhow, Gino, he just starts eating the chicken. Well, Joyce, he's eating the chicken, the mashed potatoes, and the peas. And we said, for Christ's sakes, don't worry about the mashed potatoes and peas, just eat the chicken. So anyhow, Gino eats 23 pieces of chicken. He stops. 23 or 25. Well, Joyce eats 24. He said, 2 more, champ, and we win. So anyhow, he says, Al, I'm still hungry. And he eats 36 pieces of chicken. So finally, he says, whoa, he says, I can't eat anymore. He says, I gotta wash this down. And in front of him, we had a big pitcher of iced tea. So there you are, champ. Eat it all. Drink it all. We don't care if he blows up now because we won the bet. With that, he reached into his pocket and pulled out 4 pieces of saccharin and dropped it in the iced tea. He was watching his calories.
The good times of the 50s dissolved into the bad vibes of the 60s. We were a nation at war and a society in turmoil. Pro football and its players reflected that conflict.
Some football players wanted some things changed. I mean, why would a guy not be able to wear a mustache or have long hair? Silly things, you know. But finally, the football players started believing that, look, we can fit into the team structure, but please let us be our own man, too.
A more profound difference existed between the little guy American Football League and the establishment's National Football League.
The era of the 60s, I believe, was summarized by 2 different styles of football in the AFL and the NFL. The NFL, you had your standard offense, standard defense, very little innovation, great dominating middle linebackers. The AFL, you had wide open football, imagination, probably through necessity, because they didn't have the people, they had to do it through innovation.
By the end of the decade, the leagues had merged and the little guy had proved his power when swaggering Broadway Joe and the AFL Jets defeated the NFL's Colts in Super Bowl III. More traditional values were still very much alive and well and living in Green Bay. The man was Lombardi. The team was the Packers.
One of the things that made America great is to try to be the best in everything that they do. And the best is signified by winning.
I resented him a great deal in the early years. I thought he was a little too demanding, a little too pushy. I thought he was asking for things that I wasn't capable of delivering.
Everybody grabbing out there, nobody tackling. Just grabbing, everybody. Grab, grab, grab.
But later on, when I began to push myself, when I began to have my own personal quest, then I began to understand what he was really talking about.
Packers trying for the go-ahead score. Starr begins the count. Takes the snap. He's got the quarterback taken easy for the touchdown, and the Packers are out in front. There's 13 seconds showing on the clock, and the Green Bay Packers are going to be world champions, NFL champions for the 3rd straight.
We're all imperfect. We all make mistakes. But we should all strive to be the very best we can be, whatever we choose to be. And that's what Vince Lombardi demanded, and that's why the American public will always see him as a great legend.
Weary of conflict, the nation turned to the optimism and self-indulgence of the 70s. It was the me generation, and each player had his own personal signature for success. In a decade that valued success above all else, football had a record book full of firsts. O.J. Simpson, the Juice, was the first to rush 2,000 yards in a single season. The 72 Dolphins were the first to have an undefeated campaign, topped off with a Super Bowl championship. And the Dallas Cowboys and their captain comeback, Roger Staubach, were the first in many hearts as America's team.
Well, the Cowboys need a miracle. Roger takes the snap, pumps it once. He's going long, down the near sideline for Drew Pearson. Pearson makes the catch at the 5, touchdown! Staubach hit Pearson on a 50-yard touchdown. Would you believe it?
For the Pittsburgh Steelers, the 70s also began with a miracle and ended with a dynasty.
Bradshaw running out of the pocket, looking for somebody to throw to, fires it downfield. And there's a collision. It's caught out of the air. The ball is pulled in by Franco Harris. Harris is going for a touchdown for Pittsburgh. Franco Harris pulled in the football. I don't even know where it came from.
With a combination of the remorseless steel curtain defense, the thunder of Franco Harris, and the breathtaking connection from Bradshaw to his receivers, the Steelers won a record 4 Super Bowls. In closing out the 70s, they renewed professional football's legacy, that its history is a series of frozen moments where a man's grasp can match his dreams.
In our museum, we also like to mix in some cartoons and comic sketches from the wildest plays and funniest men in football. And perhaps, through their follies, these players have learned life's greatest lesson, that the road to greatness is often littered with banana peels.
I got 50. I got 76.
No,
Joe, you got 45? Who's got 30?
I got 45.
I got him. I got that guy.
Okay, all set. Hey, who's got 45?
I thought you had 45.
I've got 76.
I got 57. Who's got 48?
I
Who's
got 48.
Oh,
I got 88.
Time out.
Richard, what are you doing?
In this widescreen world of football, its follies often create a movie within a movie.
Their prey are the men who wear the black and white stripes. At first, the officials are taunted. The refs try to fight back. But these beasts crave human flesh. You screamed on Halloween. You shrieked on Friday the 13th. Now prepare to gag on opening day. This motion picture contains scenes that may be too intense for young people.
Sometimes Even head coaches are victims of the pitfalls and perils of pro football.
Joy to the world. Joy.
All right, everybody sit down. Now, let's everybody sit down. Stay up here with me, Louie. Back up, fellas. Back up, please, so we can see. Is there any way that we can get these people to sit down?
Hey, stay here and make it look like we know what the hell we're doing. Watch the screen! Watch the reverse!
Watch your feet! Watch the play-action pass!
Screen! Flea flicker!
Watch your dog!
Watch everything!
You got to tell these guys what to do every minute of the day.
This is unbelievable. If I don't get them back down, I will cut them, baby, so they'll be down.
What we got to run, I'm telling you, it sounds crazy, is an 888. Deep down the middle and hope we get a pass interference, don't you think?
94, fullback banana, hot right.
Round left, wide, nasty, 16 lead pass, post flag with a to Gloucester.
We might as well run it. Yep. Let's run the Bummerooski. Huh? Run the Bummerooski.
Drop! Drop, dummy! Drop!
My daughter could do better. Get him out of there because he has no hands.
I guarantee you next week you'll stay back because every guy up here is going to cost $500.
Went to college with that official. Hey, you over-officious jerk! Now, you can't do that. If you do it, I'm telling you, you're going to have more hell over it than a little bit. I'll tell you, you think that you've given these a little bit of an advantage now? How about turning it around? Go.
They're killing me, Whitey. They're killing me.
If you think for one damn minute I'm going to take a loss standing down, you just have another thought coming.
And the next time everybody will sit on a bench or I'll run every to Green Bay.
I knew we weren't ready to play football today.
Even though we often sing the praises of the game's greatest players,
I left my heart in San Francisco, high up on a hill. It calls to me.
football fact is often stranger and funnier than fiction.
All right, here's Jim McMahon barking out the signals. Perry in motion to the near side. McMahon fakes the hand. Open! Fires the right side. Oh, there you go! The legend continues. William Perry.
Looking. Now stops, throws, completes it to Kilmer up at the 30-yard line. Kilmer driving for the first down, loses the football. It's picked up by Jim Marshall, who's running the wrong way. Marshall is running the wrong way, and he's running it into the end zone the wrong way. Thinks he scored a touchdown. He has scored a safety.
10 seconds left. Stabler back. Here comes the rush. He sidesteps. Can he throw? He can't. The ball flipped forward is loose. A wild scramble. 2 seconds on the clock. Casper grabbing the ball. It is rolled a fumble. Casper has recovered in the end zone. The Oakland Raiders have scored on the most zany, impossible dream of a play. Madden is on the field. He wants to know if it's real. They said yes. Get your big butt out of here. He does. There's nothing real in the world anymore. This one will be relived forever.
And win, lose, or draw, every football game still ends with the same refrain.
Hi, Mom. Number one, number one, number one. Presto, bottega che la vita. Hi, Mom. Number one, number one, one. Per fortunatissimo per verità. La 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 la, la 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 la. Hi, Mom. 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 We're number one. Hi, Mom. We're number one. We're number one. We're number one. We're number one.
Hey, Mom! Hey, Mom!
In painting the highlights of professional football, the artist has to strike a careful balance because within the framework of what is essentially a group portrait of great teams, the artist also has to chisel out a place for individual struggle and personal achievement. The end result is equal parts of both and a lasting tribute to the men who've played the game.
Every season and every game, men united in a single aim. All our heroes
in a seasoned story. Men with guts, moments of glory, a test of strength and a test of pride, a test of spirit deep inside. Teams united in a single name, of battle burning when victory's flame. It's a long, hard road to every goal. It's a long, hard road, I know. If you hit that road with all your soul, now you're on the road to the Super Bowl.
If the Super Bowl is the most public evidence of a team's greatness, what of the personal struggle and achievement of the individual athlete? For that, you have to search deep within.
Reach for the courage, push back the pain. Blood of a winner running through your veins. Break for the finish, leading the way. All alone as you turn for home. All your fire and all your strength on the line with every stride, every muscle and every nerve, digging deep, rich with pride, the heart of a champion shows every time. The heart of a champion shows every time.
The highlights of football are filled with stories of individual courage and inner strength. Doug Williams showed the heart of a champion as he stared down the ugly face of bigotry.
Super Bowl MVP, Doug Williams of the Washington Redskins. First black quarterback to start a Super Bowl, the first black quarterback to win a Super Bowl. I hope he puts to bed once and for all about the black athlete in professional football.
Despite a deformed right hand and foot, the Saints' Tom Dempsey met the challenge of the game and shattered a record in the process.
Tom Dempsey will try to kick the longest field goal in National League history. They're sending him on with 2 seconds left. Scarpetti will hold. Here's the snap. The ball is down. Dempsey kicks. It's on the way. It is good. It's good. It's good. The Saints have won.
And Steelers halfback Rocky Bleier fought his toughest battle far from the cheering crowds of the NFL. In a place where there are no champions, only survivors.
A machine gun, you could hear it in the distance, started to level the area. And all of a sudden, I felt a thud in my left leg. And as I looked down, I saw 2 neat little holes in my khakis. And then I could hear the guys hollering in the wooded area. You know, there's one. You know, watch it. Damn it, boy, they got Bill. Watch that one. Watch, you know, holy Christ, what's going on? They're everywhere. And all of a sudden, just out of the corner of my eye, I saw this grenade come flying through the air. It was almost like slow motion. That grenade just kind of kept rolling right where it was. And in a matter of seconds, I had to decide which way to jump. And I went flying forward, and the grenade went off. Oh, I got dizzy and blacked out for a minute. And it had blown out this way. Fortunately for me, because if it had blown up this way, I mean, I might not be sitting here talking to you at this point. And so I caught some coming up to my right foot.
Although classified 40% disabled, Rocky returned to the Steelers in 1969, despite initial skepticism from new head coach Chuck Noll.
There was no way Rocky could play, in my view. In fact, I asked him at one stage to, I thought maybe it would be better if he had retired.
At least I wanted to give it a shot. And so that if I got to the point and didn't make it, I never had to look back and say I didn't try.
What followed was surgery on his crippled foot, 5 years of agonizing rehabilitation, and a legendary comeback that drove Rocky Bleier toward 4 Super Bowl championships and a place in the hearts of all those who value the strength of the human spirit. The individual courage of Rocky Bleier and the other heroes of football show us what the game really is. The game is not the players, it's not the coaches or the fans. It's a little bit of each, blending together into a living history that began nearly 70 years ago. It's the Chicago Bears playing the Canton Bulldogs on a cinder field in front of 200 people, with George Halas holding back on his wife's grocery money so he could pay his players. The game is Bobby Lane offering to take a $2,000 pay cut after a disappointing season. And the Detroit Lions, knowing it was no stunt, agreeing to accommodate him. It's an 18-year-old aerial gunner named Chuck Bednarik, flying 30 missions over Germany in World War II. Then, 17 years later, at the age of 35, playing both ways for the Eagles and stopping the Packers in the World Championship game. And it's Lombardi, raging at that defeat, vowing never to lose another championship. Then, driving his team to make the promise come true. The game is Roger Staubach, an officer and a gentleman, saying goodbye to the team he loved and to the coach who made him a champion.
Of course, the nuts and bolts of the Dallas Cowboys is a man that wears a funny hat on the sidelines. I wasn't going to do this, but Tom Landry is the nuts and bolts, and I appreciate him.
The game is the man in the funny hat, and its sweetness, and the juice. It's Franco's Army and Brian's song. It's a place where new legends are born and old ones endure, where differences vanish in the bright sunlight of achievement. The game is a time warp where the young dream of growing up and the old remember youth. And for a few hours on Sunday, neither fantasy nor reminiscence seems foolish. The game is an epic of laughter and legend, of tears and triumphs, of shared memories and answered dreams, and of challenges faced and challenges conquered.
We hope you've enjoyed this glimpse of pro football, its lasting legacies and highlights, not to mention the lowlights of its follies and the crack and crunch that makes it America's most popular spectator sport. And we hope you'll return for another visit, because we'll be putting up a new wing every season. I'm Steve Sable. Thanks for joining us.
This video is part of a complete blockbuster lineup of NFL films capturing pro football's greatest plays and biggest heroes with crunches, follies, highlights, and Super Bowl hits, plus new releases each season. We've got action-packed videos of every superstar team in the NFL. Call 1-800-NFL-TAPE now for a free catalog and order your NFL hit today. Or look for NFL films at your nearby video store. The season's never over with NFL Films and Fox Hills Video.